Welcome to the Get Fit Guys, quick and dirty tips to slim down and shape up. My name is Ben Greenfield, and I'm the Get Fit Guy. Well, believe it or not, this is the 100th episode of the Get Fit Guy podcast, and while that may be an impressive feat, I can think of something even more impressive that happens to be going on right now. The Olympics. And Olympic athletes not only have natural talent, dedication, and drive, but they devote a great majority of their lives to their sport so that they can be the best in the world. An Olympic athlete must train hours each day to perfect their skill and maintain their amazing physical condition. And as a matter of fact, the aspiring athlete spends an average of 8 hours a day, 7 days a week, training their body and their mind. To have that amount of dedication and drive, there are specific physical and mental strategies that Olympic athletes use. So, today's episode is the first in a two-part series that's going to teach you how to use 10 different Olympic athlete strategies in your own training, whether you just want to shed a few pounds, run a marathon, or be the best you can be in your specific sport or activity. So, let's jump right into the first 5 strategies. Strategy number 1 is to build a foundation. Olympic athletes can train over a decade to reach their long-term goal of winning a gold medal. While you can't reverse the clock and start training as a toddler to reach your personal goal, you do need to build a solid fitness base. And depending on your current fitness level, that base can take as long as 6 to 12 months. This is a step that's often skipped by many people who jump straight into a heavy weight training program or a hardcore CrossFit class or boot camp or a marathon training program. This kind of a shock to the system can leave you injured just a couple of weeks later. So you must begin the journey toward your fitness goal with a period of time that involves slowly building your endurance, your strength, your flexibility, your balance, and your cardiovascular conditioning. A good place to start this is by understanding common muscle imbalances and how to fix them. I'll put a good link in the show notes over at getfitguy.quickanddirtytips.com to a great resource on common muscle imbalances and how to fix them. Strategy number 2 is to eat well. In a previous episode, I've mentioned the enormous and quite possibly unhealthy diet of Olympic swimmer Michael Phelps, who, incidentally, gained significant weight after a training hiatus following his incredible 8 gold medal feat at the 2008 Olympics. But aside from that example of Michael Phelps, most Olympic athletes know how to eat and drink for ideal sports performance and recovery. Though they don't all consume the same percentage of carbs, proteins, and fats, each Olympian's diet plan, no matter how complicated, follows 2 basic principles. Number 1, being aware of what they're eating, preferably through writing it down or at least by avoiding mindless eating. And number 2, eating nutrient-dense foods that supply significant nutrients, vitamins, and minerals per calorie. For example, choosing whole raw fruit versus concentrated fruit juice. Strategy number 3 is to focus on technique. An Olympian's movement efficiency and economy results from the thousands of hours of practice that they put into their specific sports skill. By repeating those movements over and over again, the human body can learn how to perform any skill with laser-like efficiency. So if you plan on doing something like running a 5K, completing a triathlon, or moving to the next level in tennis or golf, it pays to have at least 1 to 2 sessions per week when you focus not on fitness, but on drills and skills such as running with proper form, practicing your tennis serve, or visiting the driving range. Strategy number 4 is to periodize. Olympic athletes precisely time their training and the recovery to coincide with a peak in their fitness when they reach the Olympics. Periodization is the term given to this method of varying workouts so that you can be in the absolute best physical, emotional, and mental condition when it really matters, such as for an event or for a race. For you, this may mean that you don't do the same workout over and over again throughout the entire year, and instead, you break your year into periods in which each period has a specific goal or specific focus. For example, if you want to run a marathon this fall, you would work on your strength and muscle balance during the winter. You would work on your basic endurance during the spring, your speed and intensity during the summer, and finally, you'd include a period of rest for the final 2 to 3 weeks before your event. And you can see how that's different than just going out and running X amount of miles per week until you get to your marathon week. Strategy number 5 is to use a coach. And it's rare to find an Olympic athlete who doesn't work with a coach or a trainer. Not only does it remove the mental hassle and stress of handling details like schedules and training to-do lists, but it also provides accountability, motivation, and precise direction. You don't necessarily need to hire a full-time coach to oversee every workout you do, but you certainly don't need to be an Olympian to reap the benefits of getting expert advice every once in a while. A good place to start would be with the episode I recorded on how to choose a personal trainer, and I'll link to that in the show notes. Now, another very, very good resource for you is my website, getfitguy.com. Over at getfitguy.com, you can not only check out my new book, Get Fit Guy's Guide to Achieving Your Ideal Body, but I've also got sample workouts on there, bonus items like metabolic rate calculators, body fat calculators, body typing questionnaires, and a ton of other resources to help you get the perfect workout program for your body type. And that's over at getfitguy.com. Now, next week, I'm going to bring you 5 more ways that you can learn from the Olympic athletes. But in the meantime, if you have questions about how to train like an Olympian or any of the tips that I gave you in this episode, then visit facebook.com/getfitguy and leave your comments or your questions over there. Thanks for listening. Enjoy the Olympics. And until next time, what are you waiting for? Go get fit.